Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. And we got a great show, man. I am pumped about this evening. It's going to be a good one. In the studio, we have Phil and Tony from Pork Mafia. We are talking all things barbecue and all things rubs, seasonings, the lifestyle, everything. I hope you're ready. It's going to be a great conversation. But before we jump into that, we're going to thank the people who keep the lights on for us over here at the Brown Water Studios. Right out of the gate, 2024 is the year to smile more. Dr. Robbie Williams and his friendly staff over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man, they've been supporting us since day one, and we appreciate it. If you're looking to get those pearly whites sharpened up, cleaned up, looking right, go look them up on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. And when you're ready to book that appointment, you can give them a shout at 228-215-1202 and tell them that we sent you. If you need legal representation for any reason, Taylor & Cox Law Firm has been practicing law on the Gulf Coast for 30 years, man. They come highly recommended in their field. This is our buddy Tyler right here. He's stuck with us now for a while. You can give them a shout at 228-696-011. They specialize in felonies, misdemeanors, DUIs, family law, divorce, child custody situations. Nobody wants to have to have an attorney, but when you need one, you want somebody that's going to fight tooth and nail for you. Taylor & Cox is the people that we recommend, so go check them out and tell them that we sent you. Our buddy Rocky Brooks over at Sea to Swamp, man, he's got 2 locations. Like I keep telling you, Goshen and Gulfport. You can go check him out for all your tackle and apparel needs. He's doing reel repair. He's got all kind of stuff. Kayaks, man, he's been slinging out of there. I forgot to put the new pictures in there. I was just over there the other day dropping off some posters for the Bay Rat Bash, his Gulfport store, and it looks great. You can give him a shout at 228-205-3964 or look him up on Facebook. That's C, the number 2, and then Swamp. Kendrick over at Forever Young Men and Women's Health. Once again, look them up on Facebook. We're almost in March, so you've definitely missed that New Year's resolution, but it's still not too late to get back in the gym and start working out again. Go see Forever Young. Let them do some lab work on you. Let them check your vitamins. Let them check your hormones. Maybe you need testosterone replacement. And like we said before, you can bring your lady in there because they do hormone replacement for women as well. Put your health care in the hands of a professional. Forever Young. Check them out. Give them a call, 228-363-6623, and tell them that we sent you. And the host of this year's Bay Rat Bash is going to be Dewey Do Bugs. It's a new restaurant that just opened up in D'Iberville, right across the street from the Scarlet Pearl. They are specializing in boiled seafood, man. Not a lot of people are doing that around here, and we've heard the reviews. We've heard it's great. Joey's been twice. He loved it. Check them out on Facebook, Dewey Do Bugs. And you're going to see us here next week. The Biloxi 2024 Biloxi Boat Show. That's going to be March 8th through the 10th at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum Convention Center. This is about our 3rd year being there, man. It's a lot. If you're into the outdoors, we've got all the boat manufacturers. We've got a lot of products that deal with the outdoors, rods, reels, there's smoked meat. It's all kind of stuff. It's really something to see, again, at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum Convention Center, March the 8th through the 10th. And we're going to have them on next week for the show to talk about that a little bit more. We're looking forward to it. And like I mentioned, the Bay Rat Bash is coming up in just a little over a month. It's going to be April the 13th. Obviously, that's a Saturday, hosted at Dewey Do Bugs, again, right across the street from the Scarlet Pearl. Turn a nasty old hardhead catfish into $1,000. We're going to be talking about it even more. We're teaming up with Fish in the South once again, and we're going to be having a special episode. We're going to talk about all of our sponsors here for that we're super proud of. So stay on the lookout, and registration is up now. So you can go to the website, click on the tab that says Bay Rat Bash registration, and go ahead and enter in $25, man. Turn a catfish into $1,000. So
do it.
It's going to be a fun time. You're not going to want to miss it. So now that that's out of the way, I think I beat Joey once again. Super proud of that. I always win that race. He's still trying to get the people in here. But gentlemen, first off, thank y'all for being in the studio with us this evening. I want to start from the beginning. Pork Mafia, we did something. We were trying to figure it out before we went live at Keg and Barrel.
Yep.
We did a live cooking video. Joey was on there. I was behind the camera. We did ribs on the grill, I believe.
Yep.
First thing cooked on that grill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think they'd even really broke it in yet.
No.
That's been a couple years ago. So you're back on the Gulf Coast. We appreciate you stopping by, but tell people that are hearing about Pork Mafia for the first time, like what's the brand about? How did it get started?
So we started in seasoning blends.
Okay.
I got into seasoning blends business through barbecue contest. got lucky at a couple things, won a couple categories, and got asked to start a business. And so we did that. And our first year in business, we had 11 customers where we were making the restaurant spice blends for them.
Okay.
And
so it was a business, like businesses were your customers.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
So business to business it was, and that's it just snowballed from there. Doing other people's spice blends for them.
Okay.
Or they can pick from ours. So we in-house now, we probably have about 25 different spice blends that we carry.
Really?
So, but our whole goal in business is more business to business.
Right.
We do have the retail, but that just keeps the brand out there.
Correct.
I mean, there's not a lot of money in it.
Right.
Happy to do that for other people. They can even pick any flavor of ours, and we'll put their label on the product.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay, like a white label thing,
label,
right? Yeah.
We do that with spice blends, sauces, and now coffee.
Yes. So you sent Joey and I a care package that we were very thankful for, with a bunch of the different spices.
Coffee,
the coffee was
mustard,
in there.
all kinds of
the
stuff.
mustard.
Yeah, and it's legit. We've been using it for a while.
Yeah.
And loving it. The Memphis rub, right? I think that's one of the ones that
I like the Louisiana barbecue and the Memphis.
Yeah. But they're all
Louisiana Bayou and the Memphis mud.
They're all really, really good. But how do you go from, you said competitions, right? And someone approached you, but like, were you mixing up your own flavors? And obviously, I mean, that's what competition's about. That's how you kind of cut your teeth there.
So at the very beginning, I of course would use, the Mark Lambert's out of Memphis, Malcolm Reed's out of Memphis. So those are the basic ones I started using. And then you kind of do a few things and you doctor it a few different ways and maybe throw another rub in there. And you're like, yeah, I like that flavor. And then the factory I kind of work out of has a full lab and, an engineering staff that knows what each flavor is for. And
you actually got scientific evidence.
On it. So
now, you were working there before this? Like that
no.
was your okay.
No.
So once you wanted to do it yourself, you went there. Okay.
Yeah, I went there. And so they're a full SQF food safety lab.
Yeah, like we've learned about this from some of the other guys we've had on the show, like food science and the labs and the quality control that goes into it. I mean, it's for real.
Yes.
Yeah, it ain't just throwing stuff into a bowl.
It's not. I'm not doing this out of my garage. There's a full engineered
flavor profile.
Flavors, yes.
Right.
So that is why our flavors are so well. I'll talk to them and say, yeah, that's just not right. We need to do something, and they'll go back and send me another sample. And same way, if I was doing that for a customer, once you say you like that sample, we can price it.
Yeah. What was your baby in the beginning? What'd you start off with?
Memphis Mud and Louisiana Bayou.
That's the one that I'm the most familiar with is Memphis
and
Mud.
Texas Gold. So in contest, we had Memphis Mud for pork butts, Louisiana Bayou for our chicken, Texas Gold for our brisket.
Okay. How did you get into like the smoking, cooking? How'd you get in the competition scene?
So
where'd that start?
I'd always grilled in the backyard, and I was an iron worker in Chicago, climbing high rises and banging on steel all day.
That ain't fun.
No.
And then in the late 90s, that took a tank and started looking for other things to do. And I'd always grilled. And I had a little stand-up smoker in the backyard I cooked on every once in a while and just got more into it. I went to Memphis and met up with a great group of guys and started cooking with them and some of them on their Memphis and May team.
Yeah. And what an event that is.
That's like the Super Bowl.
Huge event.
Yeah,
that is
sure.
the Super Bowl of barbecue.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And then met the last 10 years, I probably cooked with a group from New York who ended up being a customer.
Okay.
So they now own 3 locations, Queens, New York, Miami, and Louisville, Kentucky, Pig Beach Barbecue. So we help them make their sauces and we make all their rubs.
Now, when a business like that, when you're making the rubs for them, is your name Pork Mafia on the menu? Or is it not? Does it not work like that?
No. So a lot of them just like to have their visions, their brand on it. So, and that's fine. With a little bit of research, anybody can find out who's making it.
Right.
Right. So,
okay. I just didn't know how that game worked. Right.
So a lot of times they call that a blind packaging. Your brand is not on it.
Okay.
So you'll put their label on it, and it doesn't say nothing about you. But some of them, like the bulk packaging, it'll say the name of the product, and then it'll say distributed by Pork Mafia.
Okay.
Now, for some of the halal places now, which I have started selling to, they have a different type of a system. Like the Jewish have kosher,
Right.
so halal is a whole nother thing.
What is it? I'm not even familiar with what that means.
Well, so it's a different grade of meat, even. So, like at the Restaurant Depot or whatever by us, you can get halal chicken,
Okay.
which is supposed to be a little better,
So kind of like Wagyu.
kind of like a
Okay.
Wagyu.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So it's
I don't think I've ever even heard that term before.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
So the Middle Eastern people, the Palestinians, some Israel,
Mhm.
like to have the halal product or the halal. It's kind of like having the blessing of the priest
Okay.
on their side.
Right.
So, but we're trying to cover all that. So whatever there is, we can get it done.
Okay. Yeah, we're covering all the bases.
All the bases.
All the bases. If you want to buy from us, we can make it happen.
Right. So that's why for that, I didn't want to push Pork Mafia in their face. So
Right.
that's why I started the PM International.
I didn't think about that. Oh yeah, you just eliminated a large percentage of the
yeah,
population.
yeah.
Yeah. So you is that like the company?
That's our distribution company.
Okay, so it's called what?
PM International.
That's right. And don't ask what the initials are about. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. That's good. No, I love it. I'm gonna flash on the screen real quick. It'll take a little bit of a delay for it to come over here.
So you got your seasonings. Let's walk through that because I know we went through it last time, but you got your baby in the front. That's Memphis Mud.
Yep.
And that's used for what's your special?
Pork. We would use it mainly for pork butts, but it's great on ribs. As we brought some today, that's got some. We went straight Memphis Mud on 2 racks, and on the other 2 racks tonight, we went a little different, which we used the new one, the buckshot,
Right.
Okay.
and that has a little activated charcoal in it. And then we covered it with a Nazareth rub, which I brought back from Israel. 2018, I went to Israel to help a winery run through their staff how to do a little barbecue, and they still buy some product from us.
Really?
So their barbecue company is called Barbecue Garage, and they're in about an hour outside of Tel Aviv, and it's Tishbe Winery that they have Memphis Mud, Texas Gold, and Louisiana Bayou they buy.
Really?
Okay.
Tell them
bet that's
tell 'em
weird.
that story, Phil, because that's one of the coolest stories ever. Is how you
So-
got that.
So the rub, the Nazareth rub, which we'd also have on the ribs today. So after teaching with the staff there, the owner said, "I want you to go to Nazareth with a friend of mine, and he'll take you to all the little shops." So we went all to the little cheese shops where they had, family farm sheep cheese made every day. So we went and tasted all this stuff.
This
And even went to where the church where baby Jesus was,
Jesus of Nazareth.
Nazareth. So we went through all that, and one of the last stops we did was a oldest butcher shop in Nazareth. Could be 1,000-year-old butcher shop.
Right.
Handed me a handful of spice. He said, "We put this on everything." So this is what the Nazareth rub is that I now sell here.
So he kind of gave you the secret
It
ingredient.
gave me the secret ingredient, and again,
Frankincense and myrrh type
That's
stuff.
right. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
again,
scientists.
our lab scientists at the lab upped it. They amplified,
Throttled it
as
up
I
for
like
this
to
palate.
say, amplified.
Yeah.
So that's what we have, and every once in a while, the guy from Israel will say, "I think it's just got a little too much clove."
Right.
But that's one of the amplifiers.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
You're
we
like,
juiced it up.
you don't understand
America,
it.
we're in America. We're always going
Yeah.
to make it bigger and better,
Like,
for sure.
Sir, we're about bald eagles and fireworks, so we
Yeah.
got to up the clove content.
Yeah. Well, how was that butcher shop? Because I know a lot of their religion doesn't mess with pork at all.
So a lot
right?
of them don't have it. There was 1 or 2 that did carry it, and they do have a wild pig problem
Really?
in Israel. There is wild.
Send them over here.
Yeah.
Send
Wild
them over
pigs
here.
just running on the street.
They're like boars or like
Yeah.
pig.
Well, we
boars.
kind of have that problem at certain spots here. you
They get,
know?
I mean, then once they start going,
Yeah.
they're like rabbits. You
Yeah.
can't kill them fast enough.
What? Tony, real quick. Tell me a little bit. jump out of here, what are we drinking on? So people that see us, what's the story on that?
Picked it up in Georgia because I can't find it here.
Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna be looking for it now. What is it?
Yeah, it's Peg Leg Porker. So it's Kerry Brangle's it's barbecue guy.
Yeah.
His whiskey, his bourbon whiskey. Now it's kind of controversial because it's a Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey. So bourbon is usually Kentucky. I mean, that's
we've
what
looked it up on
Yeah.
this show before.
We
It can
have.
be anywhere in the U.S. as long as it meets the criteria of New Oak barrels, corn. The whole.
Right.
Yeah.
So it can be from Tennessee.
But it's delicious. It's delicious.
Right.
It's very
Regardless of
tasty.
where it's from, it tastes amazing.
That's good.
I'm gonna try this one more time because I want to make sure that it's good.
It's
as I
good as you thought it was.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Joey, take
And
it.
he's got a
Yeah.
great barbecue restaurant
Yeah.
in Nashville
Really.
called Peg Leg Porker.
He's a good dude.
Wow.
So run us through. We hit Memphis Mud, Louisiana Bayou. What do you use that for? You usually
Louisiana Bayou in contests we used it for chicken, but I love it on pork, ribs. If I only had one, it would be Louisiana Bayou.
really that was my go-to.
Just because it's so versatile.
yeah.
Like I can use that straight on a brisket and just add a little more black pepper.
And see, that's the thing. I guess a lot of people look over, like they'll use their favorite rub and leave it, but like the ones we did for Mardi Gras, I took the Memphis Mud and then put the Texas Gold on top of it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So putting both of those flavors together is unbelievable.
So I originally never mixed them. So I was out of town one year.
Don't
and-
cross the streams like in Ghostbusters.
That's right.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So I was out of town.
you
and
have to.
I had a very high-end chef from Chicago text me and said, "Hey, I got the #1 chef in the world coming into town. She's from Spain, and I want to cook her American barbecue." I said, "I'll send it to you right away." So I sent him, a couple pounds of Memphis Mud, a couple pounds of Texas, and he's sending me pictures, and he's like, "Got it all mixed." I'm like, "Dude, I've never did that before."
Yeah, I don't know. I
You
can't.
just unlocked the secret code.
But it was like the best thing ever.
yes.
That reminds me of the Zapp's potato chips, the voodoo, right? If
Yes.
you read the
Right,
story on
yeah.
the bag, which I don't, is that made up? Is it real? Who knows? But that they just mixed all the flavors together and it tastes amazing.
It
tastes
does.
great.
Yeah. it
I
tastes
had
really
a bag yesterday.
good. Yeah, it's legit. It's legit.
Well, talk about you're from Chicago. Usually Chicago's not mentioned
Right.
in the barbecue world. It's usually,
Right.
your Tennessee's, your Texas, your Kansas
Kansas
City's.
City. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me how you placed Chicago on the map.
So we I was not afraid to travel. That's why I learned a little bit about barbecue. My whole thing is I wanted to cook pigs in Chicago. I had a handful of friends with bars, and I wanted to cater and get into catering more. So I thought I would do that through cooking pigs.
Like whole pigs?
Yeah, whole
Well,
pig.
yeah, because we're gonna get into that because
Yeah.
that whole thing he does. That's legit.
Yeah.
So the whole pig thing came about, and I wanted to learn more. So I went to class, like barbecue class, a friend was doing in South Carolina. So
what time frame would this have been?
this was around 2005,
Okay. Okay.
and he's like, "Hey, once you pay, you can come back every year." So you kind of help them start instructing and helping out, and it was great. They don't do it no more, but I do miss going to South Carolina every year for that class.
Yeah.
And but once I got it going, I brought a pit back from South Carolina. John Haney and Alvaron Pits, I think it's the one on my sleeve right here. He makes a great barbecue pit. It's propane, and I want to get my catering done on time,
Right.
so I don't have to worry about baby feet. Feeding a stick burner every 20 minutes or whatever, which is great if you have the time.
Yeah.
So it's funny. We talked a little bit before we went live. Our buddy Vincent from Salt
Yes.
Pepper Oak.
he's in the
He dropped the
comments.
comments. He said, "Let's link up. It's time to drop a rub."
Awesome.
But I
Yes.
bring that up to say I mentioned to you that they were making their own smokers.
Yes.
They have Double Barrel has. I don't know that they were the initiators of it. Correct me, Vincent, if I'm wrong. But they have a regulator on the front that opens the baffle.
That's awesome.
That's automated.
Tony was
That
talking about it.
butterfly valve is
Yeah, and
unreal.
and- and-
Thermocouple.
It's legit.
Yeah.
So now, granted, they still have theirs down to a science. I've seen the notebook. Like I know
Yeah.
they know how many.
When he was
sticks.
explaining it to me, his brother was explaining to me, I was like,
Yeah.
it's just a grill, bro. He's like, no.
And they ran it through their mathematics. They didn't want to pay a guy to sit there for the business. Like they've got it going on. But I didn't want to interrupt. But that when you said that, that's what made me think of.
So that was been the whole thing. A lot of guys are, well, I'm a purist. It's got to be cooked with wood all the time, and I was that guy for a while.
Right.
But when you're trying to make money catering, you got to have the food ready on time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have 12 to 14 hours to sit there and wait.
Right.
Yeah.
Vincent said they're not the first, but they're the only one to do it on an offset with that baffle.
That would be probably correct.
Yeah.
I know I've seen it on some other Texas cooker, but that's not offset.
Yeah.
So that's it. I definitely want to get with him and check that out.
We'll make that.
Was talking about
Tony's. You got his contact. We got his contact.
Yeah,
we'll make that happen for sure.
Good people.
We definitely want to get connected with it.
Yeah. So the old battle between
stick burner,
pellet burner,
right?
Propane. Do you get into that much, or just whenever you put the food on the table, it's where?
So, like I said, I used to be that guy, but to me right now, if you're putting out a good product, I don't care what you're cooking it on.
Yeah.
As long as your family and your friends, whoever you're cooking for, is happy,
right?
You're doing a great job,
right?
So that the propane or electric, whatever, it don't matter to me anymore, as long as it's coming out the way you want it.
Right.
So what's the Chicago scene like now? I mean,
so there are a handful of great barbecue restaurants in Chicago. A lot of them I do sell my rub or make their rub for them. But it's not, there's different styles of barbecue even in Chicago. So
all right, break it down for us.
So you get on the south side, you got the black places that a lot of them have an aquarium smoker. It looks like a big fish tank.
Okay.
Clear windows on four sides.
Okay.
A little fire in the bottom, but it's such old school that it's kind of like a stick burner, but the guys just don't want to sit there no more and babysit it.
Right. Yeah. It's too tedious.
So a lot of them will have this type of smoker just to put out front now and view how they used to do
right,
it.
Right.
So
we ain't lying. We're just telling you this is
so
what it
even
used
at
to be
Peg
like.
Leg Porkers, they got one of these Chicago aquarium smokers sitting out front. It is a different way of doing it, but it's good.
Okay.
But then you got your like Kansas City and Memphis styles, pushed in there, and it's all good barbecue. A lot of them jump into it not knowing what they're getting into. They're like, yeah, we hear the barbecue's good product and we think we can do it. And some of them grow and some of them tank.
You mean they're looking at it like a business? Like we heard barbecue sells. It's like, this is a finesse thing, man. You better be ready.
Yes. So business wise, we probably have 40 or 50 restaurants we service with bulk product.
Wow. In Chicago.
Yeah.
That's
Chicago.
awesome,
Well,
that's legit.
I would say from Milwaukee around to Detroit.
Yeah.
So,
and usually you don't think of that area for barbecue.
I
at
don't.
all.
Yeah, I don't. And is it, how would you define it? I mean, prevalent, up and coming, or
it's just there.
Okay, that's good because we don't go there, so we don't know.
So I'd even take that back from Milwaukee to Cleveland is kind of where I service.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a good customer in Cleveland area, and a famous chef has a restaurant in Cleveland area that's a barbecue spot, and it's not that good.
I'm picking up like some Anthony Bourdain vibes as far as like your lifestyle, like right, you're just jumping over to all these places, and hanging out with these people,
like coming here. Like this past week's been a whirlwind. First stopping in Monroe, Louisiana at Chef Corey Barr's place.
You're like a barbecue rock star.
Yes.
Then going to Chef Folse's event. We did a boucherie at Chef Folse's this weekend. So we processed 2 pigs, which means we killed, harvested, butchered, cooked, and ate pig in 2 days.
And those are
2 whole
big
hogs.
deals.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are wonderful events.
And it's people coming from all over the place, out of town. And for you take the hog and you butcher it.
It's old knowledge. Old school.
Walk them down.
Okay.
Like give them the Vikings burial and everything like that.
Can you say the name again?
So the particular one, like we're talking about, is at Comfort Farms in Georgia, and it's a vet fundraiser.
Right.
Nice.
So that one's every mid-January, so it just was last month. So the boucherie is a French word for butcher.
Okay.
So the Cajuns would throw a community boucherie,
So
Pre-refrigeration.
pre-refrigeration. So they
Correct.
might
Okay.
So
kill.
you fed the neighborhood.
Yeah,
You couldn't keep it.
So that
Then you have one next week.
right.
Then you have one the week
you know what's funny about that? It's like that was the kind of stuff that tied communities together
Yes.
through food,
Yes.
communal stuff that we kind of we get
And
away
now we
from
lock the doors and
nowadays.
shut it as soon as we get in the house.
Yeah, but it's still alive.
Yes.
You're saying
So at the Comfort Farms Boucherie, they do 8 cook stations.
okay.
So there's somebody doing head cheese. There's somebody doing boudin. There's somebody making andouille. There's somebody doing cracklings. There's somebody doing
All that sounds terrible.
all the
Backbone.
innards,
Yeah.
all the
Stew.
innards,
Yeah.
stew,
Yeah.
backbone stew. So you got some phenomenal dishes coming out of that one animal.
Nothing probably gets wasted.
Nothing gets
Yeah.
wasted.
That's the
that's the way to
and they
go.
probably even boil the bones
No.
down
Yes,
or
Except
something.
the toenails and the squeal.
Yeah.
So the backbone stew is the bones from whatever nobody else needs put in the pot,
Yeah.
and just a great stew made out of it.
Right. And these people come from out of town.
Oh.
Literally, you butcher it. Y'all like walk it down.
Yep. So we do have a like parade, just to
honor, kind of
Yeah,
like the
to
pig.
honor the pig,
Yeah.
so
I'm looking on your Facebook. I'm trying to see if I can find like a picture from it, but it may be too deep.
yeah, it's from like January 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
It's cool
yeah.
though. But you get it down there, and then you butcher the pig, and then you send everybody on their way, and
Yep.
they make one huge meal, and y'all link up and
Yes.
just all eat it together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they try and stagger them to where everybody can get a little of something.
Right.
You know, so it might be backbone stew first. It might be, cracklings toward the end. They try and stagger them
So
out.
you get all of
Yeah.
the
So
whole
everybody can get a
A little
chance.
tasting of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this like buy tickets? Like, are you already invited to this? How does
So-
that work?
So you do buy tickets. The public can buy tickets to come in. You look on their Facebook page, Comfort Farms, and you'll see a lot of it. John Jackson is a great guy, one of the Army Rangers that's in charge of it,
Okay.
and it's named after
Badass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the badass. And it's named after one of his friends that didn't make it back. So it's all for a good thing, and it's great people that you meet. you
Yeah.
know.
And that's not the only one you go to, right? There's others.
That's what I said. These
all-
are popping off all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Mainly in when it's a little cooler.
Right.
Yeah, it's too hot to do anything
Yeah.
in August.
Yep.
For sure. At least down here.
Right.
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
You ain't lying. I want to go back to the business side of things. So you were doing the competitions, you got approached about the business. How did you grow it, like awareness wise? And then also, how did you know B2B versus, because I think a lot of times when we have discussions, we think retail, and I don't know if this was pre-internet for you when this was happening, but like, how did you have that like wherewithal to go B2B?
So I learned pretty quickly that most barbecue heads want something for free.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, if I'm going to
Okay.
make money at this,
Right.
I need to go talk to
Yeah.
a business.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So
And they buy more.
They buy
They buy bigger
more.
orders.
so that's
right?
what I was looking for, the repeat orders. So
Correct.
the good restaurants, busy restaurants are every week. I got 5 or 6, 8 places I deliver to every week. So
Did you do anything business wise? You said you were an iron worker. Had you done other companies as far as like how'd you cut your teeth in that? business
in
game.
ironworking. So my dad had started a business, and I kind of took it over.
So you had a little of
Yeah.
experience running a business
Yeah.
before. Okay, that's cool. That
Yeah,
makes
because
sense.
that's something you jump into.
Yeah.
It's
If you like a trade, any kind of trade,
Yeah.
white collar job, doesn't matter. If you've never ran a business, you get popped in the face a couple times
Yeah.
real quick.
taxes,
Well,
yeah.
copyright,
So at
LLCs.
the end of that, I was owed like 600 or 300,000, and it was going to cost me 600,000 to get that 300,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. So
So-
you had a couple of lessons learned.
Yep.
Yeah. But then what about the growth of? Did it start out as Pork Mafia right out of the gate?
So it did not.
Okay.
My barbecue team was called Hogs and Hotties.
Hogs and hotties.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So
That's the
in the
shit.
early days, that was that. And then, so after I got a little knowledge on how to cook a pig, one particular catering job, I was cooking a pig at a friend's bar, not right near Wrigley. So Cubs were playing like 6 blocks away.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was smoking a pig behind this bar, and we're just sitting around like this. And some photographer walked up and took the picture. he looks at it. He goes, man, I don't know. He goes, you guys look like the Pork Mafia.
Ding.
I said, I don't know where it's going, but
Yeah.
I'm going to use it.
Yeah, we're taking that over.
Yeah, that's funny. That reminds me like of Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. He talks about jamming with some people and like just freestyling, and he would like hit a riff and he'd stop playing it. And he'd be like, all right, I'm gonna remember that one.
Yeah,
We're not.
yeah.
Nobody else is
We're
gonna
not
hear
gonna
this
tell
one.
anybody else that.
Nobody else is getting to hear the rest of that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same thing.
One of the questions I wanted to ask, and I asked you before that, 2005, when you were getting your legs, internet, social media wasn't what it is today.
Yeah,
It was just
So
barely.
what was beating the block in the barbecue world before TikTok and Instagram, where you can just reach hundreds and thousands of people every day?
Yeah. So, I'd have to say there wasn't much going on.
It was probably it was probably like Memphis in May, right? Like
Right.
those style.
Yeah.
Of,
It was like
what us
just
old
those
people
things.
what us old people call in-person events.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to actually go out and do stuff,
find
right?
out.
Yeah.
Right. So my very first year going to Memphis May, I mean, I didn't know nobody down there, didn't know really how they did it. I drove down, spent the night in my car, walked into the event, and didn't know nobody. I'm like, this is retarded, to go in someplace and not knowing exactly what to do.
I love it though.
It's like walking into the Super Bowl,
Right.
not
Yeah,
knowing what
right,
to do.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're not just walking to a regular barbecue.
So I
contest.
finally met up with somebody, walked around enough and talked to them about a rib that they were passing out enough to where they said, come on in the tent.
yeah.
And that's all it took. I was hooked then.
Yeah.
At that point, did you have chops at all?
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
So the following year, they just asked me to come in and cook with them right away.
Wow. Great group of guys.
Great group of guys.
Still know these guys today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't hogs and hotties, was it?
No.
that was his. That was his stuff.
But so and then it just took, everything, it just rolled
Okay.
to
yeah.
what it is now.
Yeah.
And that's really a great way to get into it and first take some baby steps and then do a few other things. And 2014 cooked with a team at Jack Daniel's, took first place ribs, which opened up the doors for me to go to Europe.
That was in Memphis in May.
That was at Jack Daniel's.
Oh, there's a different Jack
Yeah.
Daniel. Okay.
Jack.
So
it's kind of like, I guess, in golf, NASCAR world,
Yes.
you win a big event, you're
yes,
pretty much
yes,
in.
You're on the
Yeah.
map.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So 2014, I cooked with a team from Arkansas that won first place ribs, and then 2015 got asked to go to Sweden.
Dang.
Went to Sweden, and then the next year got asked to go to Finland. So I went to Finland the next 2 years.
I know.
Like when I think of Sweden and Finland, barbecue does not come to mind.
Well, that
Yeah,
just
they love
honestly,
America.
honestly, that
They
shows how like
love
untraveled we are,
Yeah.
Joey. That's we just
I've
don't
never
know,
been there,
man. We don't
but
know.
yeah.
So then my second year to Finland, had a company say, hey, we'll make your rubs for you over here. So I got 3 flavors that are made in Europe and sold in Europe.
Wow.
And they just send me the percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, we got our buddy in the comments, Doug Rowell. He does a lot of he's due south barbecue, and he says he's always looking for some winning
He
seasoning.
wanted he
Awesome.
wanted to trade me whenever I posted a picture of the Pork Mafia. He was like, "Hey man, is that stuff any good?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me get some," and we never linked up.
Okay,
before he was
Doug,
going,
hit us
yeah.
up, man. And,
Send me the address. I'll send you a sample.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
And Doug's won some stuff.
Yeah.
They was at Memphis in May and won some
Okay.
stuff too. So
They just
Doug's-
went to.
he ain't just a backyard guy.
Yeah, some
you know?
big barbecue. I don't know where he was at last week or the week before.
Yeah,
but
and
he
he's
was a big
doing
one.
some catering stuff too. So
So this
legit.
year, instead of Memphis in May, I am going back to Lithuania.
Tell me about that.
So I've been going to Lithuania the last couple of years.
Okay.
I have a grill company, a friend that has a grill company there. It's the Kamado Bono. It's kind of just like the Kamado Joe,
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the Bono is from Europe, and they are exploding across Europe. And
That's not the one that's crisscrossed, is it? It kind of looks like the Kamado Joe, but it's got the crisscrosses on.
no,
it?
it just looks it's exactly the same as Kamado Joe.
Okay.
It's just the branding on the labels spots is different.
Right.
And the innards are a little different. So the Kamado Bono has some patents on the grates and some stuff on the inside that is going to be really a game changer on a backyard grill.
Okay.
So they're hoping to be in the States in the next year or so, and hopefully Pork Mafia or PM International is handling something.
PM International, like that. Yeah.
So
How did you two guys get linked up? Because we've known this gentleman here for a long time.
Me and Tony grew up in the same neighborhood.
Somebody, I can't see who it was.
Cedar Grove.
Hashtag Cedar Grove in the comments.
Baby.
I don't know who it was.
Cedarwood.
Cedar long time
You know
ago.
they got Tucker Grove now.
me and Tony.
No. It's on the sign, Tony. It's for real.
Negative.
Okay.
Negative.
Now, how'd y'all link up?
I think it was the Fols's event the first time.
I was going to say a beard
2017.
convention.
2017.
Beard convention would have been my guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I first seen Tony at Comfort
jealous.
Farms this year, I'm like, dude, I ain't seen you in I don't know a year or so, I guess, but that beard is awesome.
Oh, it's
It's a
legit.
squirrel nest.
No, it's legit.
Yeah, it looks good.
My little rat face over here is jealous.
So we met originally 2017 at Chef Fols's Boucherie.
17. Okay.
And,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I mean, we've been doing some events together since.
Yeah.
Tony, how did you get into this world? Like, what's your backstory on that?
It's
Backyard guy, I'm sure,
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's where we all
forever.
started, right?
even when we were in Cedar Grove.
Okay.
You know, people getting aggravated with all the smoke
Boiling out the back.
All over
coming out
Okay.
the back.
place.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And yeah, it was just, you know, trying to cook, make something decent,
Right.
you know, and get in the, you know, backyard world, competition world.
There we go. Rip the temple.
Yeah,
off
put
that
them on
bad
the
boy.
table.
Yeah.
Let's put
We
them on
always
the table.
wait
let's-
late, but no, keep going.
See,
So,
Yeah. So how did you get in the same neighborhood as this guy? Did you know him before any of that, or you just knew the barbecue scene?
Well, I knew boucheries from my family. My family was from Franklinton, Louisiana, so they were dairymen. So they had a lot of bull calves that were not useful for in the dairy world.
right.
So instead of the pig side of it, they would harvest a lot of bull calves. So we would cook, you know, and everybody would come.
Right.
And then the next
Thank
weekend,
you, sir.
same deal. And I was like, you know, I want to get my kids involved in knowing this knowledge, you know,
Yeah.
before refrigeration,
Right.
you know, to where everybody, everybody, you know, it's a good time, you know, we
That
can
communal
eat. Yeah,
vibe like we
right.
talked about
Yeah.
earlier.
And
Brings
if
people together.
If they want to get involved, get their hands dirty, they can. That's what
Yeah.
you know. You want to learn a little bit, go in there and get your hands in there.
So these
And-
butchers. Go ahead, finish it.
Yeah.
And when I went to Fols's, it was literally the Super Bowl of boucheries.
Right.
I mean, it's
Did you know that going in, or was that
No.
coincidental?
No, it was just, you know, this one's
Serendipitous.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
this one's close, 2 hours away.
Right.
I'll hit this one.
Right.
So we go check it out, and I'm like, dude, this is unreal. This is like Disney World
Right.
level, made for TV boucherie. Like everything's
Right.
to the nth degree.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Not to interrupt you, but ladies and gentlemen, you can see Joey. I got mine right over here. We got the ribs. We're about to taste the product. So I apologize to you guys if you
There's
hear
gonna be a lot of
little
smacking going
smacking.
on.
It's look, if you was in the studio, you'd be doing it too.
Mhm.
So cut us just a tiny bit of slack, especially for you audio people. But so you stumble upon this,
Right.
show up. I'm assuming a little bit blown away because that's your first one, not really
Right.
knowing what
Yeah.
the deal is, and hooked even more than you already were
Right.
there. But do you see him cooking somewhere? How did that happen?
Yeah, I knew Phil from competitions.
Okay.
And I had kind of got jaded from competitions because sometimes you can, you know, you don't know how you finish. You know, you don't know if you're in the middle of the pack. Should I just throw this recipe completely away?
You're saying because they only announce
They only announce one, two, three, yeah.
It's they don't say, hey man, this is sour, or
Right,
you know,
right,
this
right.
is
Too
rank.
tough, or
Yeah,
this
this
is-
is
yeah,
out.
okay.
You know, what
Are you
doing?
making your
So-
own seasonings, blends, combinations at this time, or you just
No, I'm
straight?
kind of, you know, you stick to what you know.
Okay.
You stick to what you do. You don't really want to experiment at an event
Right.
because you know
That's
you
not
got
the time.
$1,000
that's not
in
the
need.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's like
You go with the old
stick to
trusty.
what you
Did I
do.
miss this? Were you competing at this event, or you were just
No. There's no competition. It was
Oh,
before
okay.
this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, before
I'm
it,
sorry.
I was competing with other teams,
Gotcha.
working with people.
Then we kind of connected too because we were both kind of disgusted with contests.
Okay.
And this boucherie thing came.
It's like
around.
more
It's
communal and less. Okay.
Yeah, let's get
everybody
involved in
wins.
this.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I just want to. I don't care. I don't mind spending the money. The money ain't the problem. The problem where it came is I don't find out where I'm. I don't see any smiles. No one is smiling.
Gotcha.
So when everyone's smiling, I'm like, well,
This is
where
way better.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. This
Don't
is
need
a
a
party.
medal. Yeah,
This is tailgating with no game.
Dude,
It was just
I've played music in bands, and one of the things that we used to do that I didn't think other guys were doing on the local scene.
I can't stop eating these ribs.
We would go get our gear in the bar that we were playing, and as soon as everything was set up and we knew we were good, we would go outside and take a Smokey Joe, little Weber, and we would start cooking. And other bands would be looking at us and they're like, "What are you doing over there?" We're like, "Come on, bro, we got enough for everybody." Like we wanted it to be that party vibe versus like sometimes like maybe the competitions. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong, but it's like, who are those guys?
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, we just want to hang out and party and drink beer. That's all. I mean, yeah, we love music and you love barbecue, but the smiles, that's what we were after. And it made it so much better.
Yeah. I like the fact that, in my nature, if I see somebody screwing up,
you want to
I
help
want
them.
to help.
Yeah.
It's like
you got a good heart.
Yeah, I can't. Well, no, I mean it ain't that.
No, it is.
I can't see somebody drowned or somebody fight with something. You holding something up. I'm gonna grab the other end of it. That's just in me. But
we've watched people that not everybody's like that.
Yeah,
and
a lot of people not like that.
Yeah, it really sucks.
And that's you'd see somebody have a few too many bourbons and maybe they fell asleep and now the pit is falling and they ain't put another stick in it.
You can go over there and help out.
And you want to, but it's like you don't want to be caught putting a stick of wood in somebody's
another man's box.
Right. Yeah. So it completely flipped. And I was like, this is where it's at.
Okay.
Like, we're all on team eat.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
So as long as everybody's smiling, everybody's having a good time.
You're having a good time.
That's it.
One phrase I like to see and hear is I cook for the people, not for the judges.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Because I bet that judges, like that whole scene, it's probably just like anything else. I mean, it's so subjective in certain ways. I'm sure they have criteria, right? But like it ain't.
Well, everybody's palate's different.
Yeah.
Like even barbecue wise. Like it depends on where you're from, depending on what
I remember reading articles about the wine, mainly because I'll go back to music, because that's where my brain goes. But like Maynard James Keenan from Tool, he has a winery. He based his winery is based in Arizona, right? So when he would start entering competitions, the judges' palates or getting ranked, maybe it wasn't a competition, but the judges' palates were geared towards a California wine.
All right.
So to get them to accept what Arizona wine tastes like, it took some
Those are the Nazareth.
some persuasion or some time, right? Or some experience. They had to be exposed to exposure. That's the word.
Dip a toe.
Right.
Figure it out.
So kind of the same thing maybe in the barbecue world. I'm a little behind.
Go ahead. What did we just eat? So
Joey's got two bones laying.
I've already cracked a bone open and eating a marrow.
The first one was straight up Memphis mud.
Okay, that's my favorite. So.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
The second one you now have is the buckshot and the Nazareth.
And the buckshot's relatively new to your repertoire, I guess what you call it.
So it's sea salt. I chose gray sea salt. So where the black flakes are the activated charcoal,
right?
And black pepper. So it's got a little garlic in it. But great on game meats.
It looks like buckshot, like you put it in a can. Yep. I see where the name came from, 100%.
So that was our goal.
That's legit. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I told you y'all have to fight through that. I apologize, but if you were in the studio, you'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah. So explain to you what y'all did, the process of cooking these this morning. I'm guessing, right?
So we started these a little after 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did have them on the Tony smoker all afternoon. And
what kind of smoker were you using? Anything special?
It's an old school
offset.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
One thing, since we are eating ribs, I know like when I got into it, I thought fall off the bone was the way to go. right? But
That's not.
that's not necessarily the way you want a rib to be, right?
So the general public loves the fall off the bone rib.
Right.
So a lot of restaurants will have that just because that's what sells.
Right.
But of course, contest wise, you kind of just looking for that bite where you just see the
Right.
half moon,
Right.
But I don't mind a rib with a little tug on it.
I was gonna say it took me some thinking about it, and I don't either. I think that works too.
Yeah. Fall off the bone is tender.
It's almost not like a rib.
But
Now,
sometimes
something
it gets-
It's like mashed potato.
It'll get a little mushy.
right.
Yeah.
We'll just eat pulled pork. I mean,
Yeah,
why
there you
not?
go.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I'm gonna hold the bone, I want it like a chicken wing. I want to be able to hold it
Yeah.
and eat it if it
Just
falls
put
off.
it in a bun.
Right.
Let's eat this.
Right.
So this Nazareth, this kind of got a little sweet to it.
Yes.
What is that in there?
So that's cinnamon
Okay.
is in Nazareth. But yeah, it's a great flavor.
It's got a little spice too.
Yeah.
Do you sell this or
Yes.
yeah,
So we sell that in a 1 pound bag.
really?
Yeah. it's-
Oh wow. All right.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Jerusalem?
Yeah, from Nazareth.
Nazareth. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Now that's way different.
Yeah,
Whoa,
totally
That's
different.
way different.
Yeah.
But it's tasty.
It is. So what all have you put that on outside of pork? Because I'm thinking like, did you mention game earlier? Like I'm thinking like,
So the Nazareth
lamb.
originally
Yes.
was lamb,
or even
chicken.
quail. I don't know why I'm thinking quail.
Bird.
poultry.
Bird. Any kind of
Yeah.
bird would go great with that.
Definitely. So it's pretty much like a shawarma seasoning.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking of. That's exactly what that tastes like.
So a lot of places use yogurt as a
Mm-hmm.
marinade.
Yep.
So then they'll throw a little bit of that type of spice in there and use that as their marinade.
Wow. I wonder, was that in the picture that I shared earlier?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Okay.
Because you don't sell it in the little shakers yet, do you?
No.
You sell it in the bag.
Okay. How to buy that? How much are we?
1 pound bag of it, I believe, is
Try this
$15.99.
Oh wow, that's way worth it. And how?
It's got a bone. So you got
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, be careful over there. No, that's legit, man. That is absolutely legit. And we've touched on this already. You like to sell B2B, but you do the retail. How do you juggle those two, right? Because obviously we've already mentioned B2B is more consistent buyer.
Yeah.
They buy bigger in bulk.
That might be the best.
The retail is you still do it, and it gets the brand out there, right?
Right.
So how do you juggle both of those as a business guy?
So we do sell it from our website. I do have a few other websites that sell it. So porkmafia.us, barbecueproshop.com.
Is that you, or is that some other retailer?
That's another retailer.
Okay.
So
Try that.
What is that?
Oxtail. It'll change your life.
yes, it will.
All right.
It's the
There's a bone right in the
steak
middle
and
of it.
burger. Yeah, steak and burger. So you have to eat around it. Texas,
I didn't even have to get all the way through that.
Yeah.
Texas, and every
God, dog. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I wish I was here, but y'all ain't. Y'all missed out. I'm gonna sit right over here.
Yeah.
Unless everybody, no.
That's
We
all.
got-
I got.
we got
this.
more.
As soon as I hit in live, it's gonna be on.
Yeah.
So no, but where are we at? I'm sorry. So bouncing between the two.
So I do have a distributor somewhat of putting the product, but a lot the retailers don't necessarily care for the big bottles except for butcher shops.
Okay.
And the local butcher shop here, Butcher on Tucker, is going to start carrying very soon.
Yes.
Doug just sent me a text message and said, give me my address.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna make that happen, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. So we've had the Butcher on Tucker on the show many times. All of those guys are really good friends of ours, and we love what they do. We love the product that they put out. So you're telling us right now, this is breaking
coming.
news. Breaking news, baby.
Exclusive.
They're
You
gonna
heard
be
it here
carrying-
first.
Yeah, they're going to be carrying your product on the shelf.
On the shelves. And they're doing a special this week, I think, on their chicken wings. They're
Yep.
using
Yeah.
our Texas Gold.
So they've already got product.
They do
right
have
now.
some product right
Okay.
now, but it's bulk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Are they selling the shakers?
They will.
They will be.
Okay.
I'm going to.
And
Yeah.
what is the ounces on those shakers?
So the shakers are like 25 to 29 ounces.
Right.
And then retail wise, those are normally right around $15.
It's worth it.
It's
legit.
I mean, it's lasted me I mean, Donnie always makes fun of my seasoning abilities.
Yeah.
but
I got a
it's,
buddy of ours
yeah,
says he
yeah.
does it seasoned
He's
up.
like, dude, you season terrible. I was like, well, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
I want to taste my meat. Yeah.
Dang.
All right, so I want to know who did the logo? I've been wearing this hat
So
since we first met. This is my second hat. I don't know if you know.
Okay.
I ordered one off of your website because my other one had a sweat ring. It was all faded out, looked terrible because of me.
So that logo was our second logo. So
Okay.
original logo was the outline with the hashtag Pig Pork Mafia on it.
Okay.
That logo, though, a friend of mine that does my swag, I said, hey, I looked at this picture on the internet. Do I need to do anything to get you to copy it? He goes, just send it to me. So he made it a little bit and
Like change it up a little bit. Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, I love it. It looks great.
Yeah, I might be able to get it.
Yeah. And
Hold on, Jerry. Do I need to switch? Yeah, go ahead. Right there. Pull
and
it back.
our Facebook group, Pork Mafia Street Crew, is growing. We have about 1,300 members in that now.
Dang. Okay. And are y'all slinging recipes, techniques, and all that kind of stuff?
Any of that can happen, and it's whoever's buying the product wants to talk about how to use it or how they used it.
And it's just a Facebook group.
It's
You
just
just
a
join
Facebook
it,
group.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm about to drop the your Facebook page.
I shared it into the
Okay, cool.
Pork Mafia Street Crew, but you got Pork Mafia Street Crews all over the place. You got a Pork Mafia Street Crew UK, you got a Pork Mafia Street Crew
Dang.
here, you got all kinds of
So wherever I've been in Europe, it seems to people want to be involved. So
Yeah.
they're happy to join in.
What I mentioned it already. It's like this Anthony Bourdain style of life. Like, what did you see this coming, and how is it?
No, I did not see it coming, and I'm going to ride the train as long as it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've already planned on going back to Europe, Lithuania in May. During Memphis in May here, I'm going to a barbecue event there.
Yeah.
That, of course, I'll cook in the contest, and I'm doing a whole big demo.
Dang. So I think we've touched on it already, but like I want to ask you direct. I mean, obviously barbecue is cool. Obviously you're selling seasonings, and obviously we all love to eat, but like, what's it like just meeting those cool people day in and day out at all these events? And that's part of your job. That's what we strive to be,
It has turned into part of the gig for sure.
Right.
Just like the past weekend. I mean, who would ever think you could go cook with Chef Fultz? I mean, my God, this guy's like the godfather of Cajun cooking.
Were you like in awe, like while you're doing it?
So originally,
okay.
So this was the seventh one.
Right.
But they've all been great, and he's been a great guy to learn from because I didn't know nothing about Cajun cooking.
Like, I'm from Chicago, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
but you got that alligator on your hand.
Yeah. So that was another one of the trips down. I went out with Jared. I mess his last name up every time.
Is it Kunas?
Yeah, on the levees.
Yeah,
he's down. He's in Violet, and he took me out. We got a 9'4" gator.
Yeah,
nice.
We were on the trip. He said you can bring 2 other guys, so I brought a military guy with me because he knew about the guns. I brought a chef with me because when we were done, we were going to butcher that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we butchered it, and
alligator's legit.
It is good, and all the different parts are a little different.
They are. I mainly had the tail.
So it's kind of like a pig. You got your white meat, you got your dark meat, and so the Monday after I think we went on the Sunday. So that the next day, Monday, the restaurant where the chef worked was closed, which was La Petite, and he made the sausage. It was just phenomenal. So he actually used all 3 rubs, the Memphis, Texas, and Louisiana, and whey powder in there to calm the gaminess down.
Okay.
And mix it all together, and we must have made like near 100 pounds of sausage.
Damn.
Out of that one gator.
Out of the one gator.
Yeah. You look at them, they're literally a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Right. And they're a predator. And then you eat them and you're like, oh, you're prey.
Yeah.
Right. Like now I'm hunting you.
If you can get them.
Right. Well, you mean like tag wise?
Yeah.
Yep. So I that trip, I gave him gas money and paid for the tag. So
right.
It was
it's an even trade.
It,
yeah.
So on the way to the meet him, he said, hey, stop at Home Depot, get you a couple box cutters. We're like, what the hell are we going to do with that?
Yeah.
He's like, that's
Hijacking a plane? What are we
that's
doing?
what you need to get through the gator skin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so y'all filleting it with box
So we
cutters.
use- yeah. We cut that skin off with the box cutters.
Dang.
So I still have the head as the trophy I had at the European mount, so it's all nice and white.
9-foot gator's head's probably
Yeah.
as big as that pan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
an
that's where that
experience.
tattoo started. This bank of tattoos here was all done by Ace Tattoo in New Orleans.
Oh, outside of like musicians, you know, they have a theme, but like I've always loved chef themed tattoos.
Yeah.
I'll do some different
Yeah,
stuff
so
that
I
no
got,
one
I
else
mean, I
does.
got the pig.
yeah,
Oh,
with it
yeah.
labeled
I got
too. With it labeled.
I got the fish right here. I got
Oh,
a cow's
mahi,
head.
yeah.
I got the cleaver with the half of our logo in it, and I also got the Chinatown Social Club logo on there,
Nice.
which I'm involved with in Chicago.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
Is that-
so Chinatown Social Club is great. I've met this group of guys that a lot of them are cops or firemen,
okay.
and they kind of control their neighborhood.
Is this off duty type stuff?
This is off duty.
Okay.
A lot of the cops
So
are.
like a neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
It is a neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Each neighborhood should have a social club that's
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
over
yeah,
the
yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah, 100%.
So a friend of mine who's the president of the club is more or less the underground mayor of Chinatown. So
yeah.
you restaurants and the businesses in the area know they can call this guy and say, hey, I'm having a little problem with this. And
Okay, little mafia
check it
vibe.
out.
Yeah.
We'll check
We'll
this
lean into
out.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll lean into that and make sure
So
it's okay.
it's a great group though, and I've started cooking for a lot of the cops, police functions in the area. Cops and firemen need something cooked.
Because they are not appreciated.
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, they're
underserved.
not appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What's your connection with that community? Joey and I do some fishing tournaments. You heard us mention it
Yep.
at the beginning of the show. We wanted to connect with a charity, and it kind of
veterans.
was like serendipitous. It just kind of fell into place that we did with veterans because, like Joey just said,
we had Tackle 22
yes,
down.
and they were like, "Hey,
yeah.
we can work with you on this." And now it's like we don't want to do anything without that
Yeah.
vibe
Yeah.
in the things that we do.
Yeah.
And it, like Joey just said, they're underserved, really underappreciated, and I don't want to get into that whole thing too deep, but it's a community that warrants being taken care of is not the right word. Appreciated, right?
Yeah.
So why did you go to that community? Was there any story to that?
I met the guy. His name is Monk, and he's originally from Vietnam,
Okay.
and got to meet some great group, and they asked me to join.
Okay.
I said, yeah, I'd love to join. So I actually got that tattoo in Lithuania. So
Wow, dude, that's wild.
I was going over and I said, well, they asked me into the group. I'm going to go ahead and get their logo put on.
Dang, that's commitment,
So-
son.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because you're not Chinese in any way.
No, no.
Now he is.
But I'm eating at some great Chinese food places now.
I bet. Flash
Yeah.
that forearm, huh?
And it's really a phenomenal food just to break away from barbecue to go eat in Chinatown. I've ate at some little hole in the wall spots, that are just great.
Yeah.
See, that's
Yeah.
something I've never experienced. Going to a place that actually has a Chinatown, has
Cool.
an
Manhattan.
has a
I went
I've
to
never been
Manhattan.
there. Yeah, I've never
Dude,
I've never
it's-
done it.
Well,
It was
when you come
crazy.
to Chicago, we're going to Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to Manhattan as well? I've
Yep.
never been to Chicago. Is it the same?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Because I'm like Joey. It was my first time. This was 2 years ago, and I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi, dude. Like we have, we are a mixing pot, but not like
Yeah.
this. I'm walking.
We got
through,
sushi and a buffet.
yeah.
That's all the Chinese we
But
got.
I mean, I'm walking.
We got some good.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Some hole in the wall.
But you don't know about it.
But it's
Yeah,
it's a
Yeah,
rest.
yeah.
It's a restaurant. It ain't like I just remember, and I might get the order wrong. Like I remember walking through Little Italy, and it's literally everything is Italian. People are speaking Italian. Then all of a sudden, and again, don't if
it's like walking through Disney World.
Yeah.
yes,
Wow.
yes,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
boom, one block you're in Chinatown, and it's all Asian people, all Asian restaurants. I look out of place. No one's speaking English. Everybody's
You were
nice.
the tallest person in there besides Yao Ming.
Like literally, and then 2, 3, 4 blocks, whatever. Boom, it changes again. I'm like,
yeah.
this is it's cool to me. I think it's
Yeah.
badass,
Yeah. And New York is great. Also, I do a couple of events a year there.
Mhm.
So the whole thing for me is when I know I'm going to travel somewhere, I'll connect with somebody like Tony locally, and that way
You get to get the vibe.
you
of
get
it,
the
right?
whole vibe of the
Tell
area.
them last night.
As I like to say, you're kind of juiced in.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you got your own tour guide.
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
yeah.
We've talked about filming videos around here to do like what Tony's going to do for you, because I would love to go to a city, and even if I could hit a YouTube channel or hit a person's website that can take you to the julep rooms and the
Yes.
Where did y'all do last night? Like that you wouldn't know
So the
to
julep
do.
room was closed. We were going to go there, but we ended up going to right across the bridge.
Gills.
Gills.
Yeah, like you would not know to
Yeah.
go to Gills without.
That's the best dive bar in Ocean Springs.
Yeah.
It's legit, dude. It's legit, and
Full of brown water stickers.
Yeah.
it's unassuming from the street, but it's
Every
where you
bathroom,
want to hang out.
even the female bathroom.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I got that one in there.
Yeah,
Don't ask me how I got that one
Just
in
for
there.
a moment, he identified it.
No, I sent my wife. I just sent my wife.
All right. Well, anyway,
So it's always great to have that person that you know that is that guy that
juiced
can take
in, like you
those-
said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you have those feelers everywhere you go. You have
Everywhere I go.
Tony's everywhere you go.
So
Yeah.
nice.
Lithuania, Finland, Sweden, Norway.
Shout out
Crazy.
Tommy the
Norway
Finn.
was a
Yeah.
very
Tommy the
great
Finn.
trip.
What about the English? I mean, the barrier.
No problem at all.
Really?
A lot of them speak English,
They all
right?
speak English
Yeah.
because they had to learn that as their
Yeah, which is
They love
Cool.
America.
yes.
They love Levi's jeans, Budweiser.
So there's still hamburgers and
Yeah.
baseball, right?
There is.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
Harley Davidson.
and
yeah,
old cars from
all
the
of it.
States.
Yeah, they love it.
They're into old hot rods from the States too.
Dude.
Really?
Crazy, dude.
That sounds like a better place to live than here.
I started like seeing a lot about like Finland, Norway, Sweden because of this whole like Russia, Ukraine, and I started watching the NATO videos
Yeah.
and then figuring out okay who's on what border and why are they joining and all that, and started getting deep, not deep, but like did a look 101 of their culture.
Mhm.
That's some legit people over there.
Totally.
I think is it.
Really cool.
I'm trying to think which one is it, Norway or I think it's Norway. What's
So
the one
there's
that's got-
Norway on the coast, then Sweden and Finland.
okay? I think it was Norway, the one that they have a very big military presence in their country to border against Russia. They don't want they're like flexed up,
Yeah.
like
all I
don't
need.
come over here.
So Finland's on one side of that. Of the
It might have
Russian
been
border.
Finland. I wish I
'Cause
could
so,
remember.
So one of the events I did in Finland, we hopped on a second little plane, a little prop plane.
Yeah.
Flew way up north,
Okay,
cooked in the woods of Finland
what?
on a lake. And
How
it
was that?
It was awesome.
It's got to be cold though. You were there in
Well,
summer
so
months.
you could wear a jacket, but so that whole culture, Norway, Sweden, and Finland, it's pretty much sauna.
Yeah.
Is
Manly.
it's law in Finland.
So you're a sissy if you wear a
Dude,
jacket.
yeah, dude.
So you go into sauna, it's naked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but what about like outside though? Like,
Look
what
at
kind of
that.
temperature are we talking here?
So when I went, it was like 40s, 50s.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
So I got to put a jacket on my pants.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it wasn't like negative 30.
right. No.
Okay, okay.
So when I went to Norway, it was cold.
Yeah.
But now Finland taught me a little bit about the sauna culture.
Okay.
It's law that they have to have one in their house.
What?
Each house has a sauna in it,
Really?
and
You got to get in there naked. Stark naked.
Well, they want
asshole
you to,
naked.
They want you to wear. They want you to wear maybe at least underwear if
A
you're that-
loin cloth.
You can
Yeah.
wear underwear,
Yeah.
but being my first time over to Finland, I'm like, okay, I got to fit in with these
Right.
guys.
I'm going to show them. Here we go.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so my first time, I got in naked because they were all naked.
Right. I don't want to be the
And-
weirdo who didn't do it.
So and this was in a giant sauna. So I mean, in off season of sauna, they put hams in there and smoke the hams for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, right there
Get
with-
some of that butt meat.
So
Yeah.
there was a guy on
Yeah.
this property. All he
Yeah.
did was
Steam.
take care of the fires.
Really? So it's like a fog when you walk in
Yes.
there. You can't see anything.
Yeah. So they have to exhaust the fumes for us to go in. So they had it.
So you run out of oxygen.
So they got it all fired up all day, and we getting ready to go in the evening. So they exhaust the fumes. So they're like, yeah, we're going in. So, people might rinse off in a regular shower before they go in. And so they got the hot rocks that they're pouring water on to steam it up. So I go in and sit down. And like I said, room was full of soot and stuff, hours ago. So I sit down and getting comfortable. And then I see these guys start walking in, and they got like a little placemat like this I'm like, what the hell is these placemats for? They go,
Wiping your mouth
you
with
didn't
it?
get one? They're supposed to sit on them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
you don't
they-
want to dirty up the seat.
I was
yeah.
to laugh because I had the black ass.
Oh, damn. Damn.
So I took one for the team, but it was all
Smoke
fine.
butt cheeks.
That's for your meat and taters. You know.
They got my giblets.
Yeah.
They got my giblets.
Everywhere I've been in Europe, though, there's not been a problem with communication at all, because
Okay.
most of them
Yeah.
do speak English, and they're very warming people.
And love barbecue.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
Everything American.
I'm sure all of it's great. Do you have any, that obviously that sticks out in your
So
mind.
Finland, I've been to several times. I really like going there. I have a close friend, Tommy the Finn. Is great.
Tommy the
Tommy
Finn.
the
You sound like
Shit.
a mafia.
Yeah.
Tommy the Finn.
Dude.
That's Tommy the Finn.
If I had a nickname in the mob, that's what it would be. Tommy the Finn, yeah.
Yeah.
Lithuania is also great. Got a great group of people there. I look forward to going back there in May. Just the culture there and the simpleness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all great.
It's not everybody doing this all
Right.
day long
Right.
on their phones.
Right.
You got to get out there.
There is that, but
Yeah, it's that's kind of taken over.
It is taking
everywhere.
But
Even though that reindeer that y'all did, whole reindeer.
So, when we went up north, we did a whole reindeer.
I bet that was
North
delicious.
where states or
Sweden.
Finland.
Okay.
Sweden,
okay.
no, Finland.
So that was where we traveled to by the small prop plane, and it was only like 15 miles from the Russian border.
Oh,
So when we first went, the chef that
don't walk in the woods.
so the chef that
Yeah. Don't piss too far over there. You won't come back.
Yeah.
the chef that organized it. So we were all like on a bus, tour bus, get up to the gate, and there's like a gate there. We were going into this like park, but there's a guard shack over here, and I didn't see him get off. So he's snuck into this guard shack, and he changed into a Russian guard uniform.
Holy moly.
And he comes running out, talking yang.
Russian, yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? So I
Yeah.
So I grabbed a bottle of vodka, hung it out the window, and he got it. And he goes, "Go on in."
Yeah.
I'd have not.
I mean, I'd have pissed on myself.
Yeah, I've been a little
Yeah,
nervous.
I'd have pissed
But it
on
was very
myself.
cool. Though.
Josh Vidania.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is reindeer compared to any?
So it's different than the
whitetail
whitetail.
or any of that axis?
So
any of
it's
that
got
stuff?
almost a hoof like a camel. It's almost that big.
They're gigantic. They're,
they're
way bigger
gigantic.
than whitetail.
So
what's their real name? Like does anybody know? I was trying to think of it. I thought it was the
It's not a mule deer. It's bigger than that.
it's big,
Yeah.
keep going, I'll
It's
look it
a
up.
reindeer.
and they'll run and they'll trot, right outside of the road. I mean, we went to check in the hotel,
Caribou.
and they kind of look like a caribou.
Yeah, it's different though. Yeah, a little different.
Yeah.
And they're right on the street though.
So do they
walking around.
hunt those like we hunt whitetail? Same thing.
They do, but they even farm raise them.
Okay.
That they're on so many menus there.
Oh, so they eat that
Yeah,
all
well,
the time.
I've also had horse there.
I'm not against it. I'm not for it.
Yeah,
but
right.
if I was starving, I would eat every
Yeah.
horse there was around. 100%. And they all have to taste great. Like people say, I'd never eat a dog. Well, if you were
If you were dying,
if you were dying of
yeah.
starvation, you would eat
Yeah.
that dog.
You
in a
come to
heartbeat.
Chicago and go to some Mexican restaurant, you might be eating
Yeah.
that dog.
Yeah,
anyway.
there it is.
Raccoon meat.
Yeah. Well, raccoon. Yeah.
It
All
does
of
say
well.
that it's a part of the caribou.
Okay.
There you go.
So-
They look pretty much
Yeah.
like a big caribou.
Yeah.
So that they actually hunt these,
Yeah.
raise them for food.
Yep.
Yeah. So they can hunt. They can have wild game
Oh, yeah.
in restaurants, unlike we can.
Right.
Yeah. Or for sale, like we can.
Right.
Dang, that's crazy. That's a lot of traveling you've done.
Yeah.
Just by, starting a spice company,
Yeah.
for barbecuing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, everywhere I go, I try to talk a little business to some places
Right.
and see if we can get product moving and what would help them, to start making a product. But yeah, it's just like the whole way down, I stopped and delivered product the whole trip, So,
I follow you on Facebook. I've seen the van and you
Yeah.
dropping off the stuff. So
Yeah.
And that
So-
legacy.
yeah.
That legacy blue is.
so the sauce is great also. So we
We haven't even
You oughta-
mentioned
yeah,
sausage
you oughta-
yet.
you oughta-
Sauces.
Yeah.
So the sauce are in retail is called Cochon dipping sauce, and so that in the bulk it's called the Legacy Blues. That the Legacy's the manufacturer, and we call it the Blues. It's made with Memphis mud's the only spice in that sauce.
Is that the one with the black label? With
Yes,
yeah.
with the pig head
Yeah.
logo.
So
Yeah.
so cool story. You probably saw it. We had that little hurricane that come through, And that's the only thing I had left in my refrigerator that wasn't ruined was the legacy sauce because it wasn't in the refrigerator. So I was like, put it back in there.
Yeah.
There it goes. Yeah.
So, nice.
Yeah.
Well, you get coffee, mustard.
Yeah,
is it all yours, right?
So the mustard and Bloody Mary mix are different people's. So Ubon's Bloody Marys we distribute, which is from Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I will say, if you like, what's the one we like? Zing Zang. It's thicker than that. It's like a real. Yeah. It's like a tomato smoothie almost. If I had to guess.
Yeah, but thicker the better. I mean, I'm not.
Well, some people like it thick,
or just dilute it with vodka.
Right.
Well, that's going to be put in there anyway.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
So Ubon's is a great people and a great restaurant they have up in Wazoo City. And the Kelly's Gourmet Mustard we don't make, but we're happy to sell it because it's such a great product. There's a hint of horseradish in it for people that think they have the best mustard. This Kelly's Gourmet Mustard has won the 2023 best mustard in the world.
Damn.
So it's not Grey Poupon.
Right. No, it's better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you link up with those guys, guys, whoever?
So,
how do you link up with that?
So the Bloody Mary mix, we were just friends a long time. I said, I could probably sell some of that. So I got, we sell some bars, some product.
Right.
So let's see if we can sell it.
Took them under your wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we probably sell about 4 or 5 pallets a year, maybe now.
Yeah.
Of the Bloody Mary mix. I'm about out and going to have to go get some more.
Okay.
So I have to go pick it up in North Carolina. And so I make another little trip out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just traveling.
Every week's a vacation.
Right. Well, he's working though, man.
That's what my wife says.
Yeah.
Right.
My wife says I'm on vacation all the time. But
yeah. Do you have kids?
So my kids are older. My daughter's in Central Michigan, graduated from Michigan State, went to Central Michigan to get her master's. Yes. Yeah. And my oldest son works for a frozen potato company.
Really? So you got your
game too.
You're empty nesters, of course.
Well, so our son's back home. He's going through divorce, and we get the grandkids every 2 weeks.
Well, yeah. Life happens.
How old is your son?
So he's 40.
Okay, so he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
So I was going to bring up the thing today. Did you see on the radio, 57% of Gen Zers are moving back in with their parents? 57% because the housing market is so jacked up.
Oh, the housing market. Yeah.
Jacked up.
He got thrown a curveball a little bit different.
Yeah,
but-
he's got a little divorce going on. So it's different.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's not easy to make it out here these days,
So you still get your grandbabies?
Yeah. Get to see them, So that's all good.
Yeah.
He's getting, back into the groove. So
yeah. Does your wife ever ring you up and say, "Hey man, you've been on the road too much. You've been fishing too much.
It's
You've been catching gators too much."
As long as the check's cashed,
that's right.
Like, hey, baby, I'm out here making it.
How about them Braves?
Right.
How about them Braves?
Well, I got a couple more before we wrap things up. We were getting deep into it, and I knew tonight was going to be a good one. It's been great. What advice would you give to the guy that's starting out backyard barbecue or wants to get into barbecue? Maybe they listen to this and they're all hyped up. Obviously, they need to go get your seasonings, order some off your website or go to the butcher. But like, give somebody, because breaking through is like the hardest thing.
Barbecue for dummies,
or
barbecue for dummies.
Young Republicans. Let's if you're gonna go history or barbecue, because that's where we go.
Okay, well let's hear it.
II.
Yeah.
Right. See, you know the meme. You know the meme.
Yeah.
That meme hit me.
Either like World War or barbecue.
That meme hit me hard. Dude. Like I spent 8 hours in the dang World War II museum in New Orleans, and I love it. I'm the stereotypical guy. But like, if you want to bust into it, like we talk about here, like whether you want to get into fishing or hunting, you've never been, even if you're older. Okay, but like, where do you start? Can you give us a little 101? Get you a Smokey Joe. Get you
definitely get you
whatever.
And who do you watch?
A Weber WSM or make your own drum. Now the easy.
Yes.
So my favorite
bum drum.
backyard cooker is a bum drum.
Yeah. We
Ugly drum.
We use those
all the time.
So I mean, you could probably make one for about. You could buy. I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace for $10.
Right.
Yeah.
You buy a drum. You probably could buy the kit. I think my buddy over at SmokerBuilders.com's got a kit you can buy and just turn your own drum into your backyard gourmet smoker.
Yeah. And then you start
just doing it.
And is there anybody to follow to like? I want to do ribs. Should I go here? I want to do brisket. Should I go here? What do I look for?
So
It's not as good as what you had.
No.
Dang. I can taste the difference. Sorry, go ahead.
So there's definitely those places you want to check out. You know, one of my favorite places in Austin, Texas is my buddy Kyle's place, Rollin' Smoke. It's just a trailer, but it is the best barbecue in Austin.
Do they have a social media
Yep,
like YouTube
like
where you can
instructional
watch them and
videos
stuff
or
like that?
something?
Yeah. So a lot of it, you know, you just do that little bit of research and all that stuff will pop up.
Yeah.
Right.
Pick out.
I guess
who
what
you
I'm getting at is though, you don't need thousands of dollars worth of
No.
equipment. You don't need, you know, the meat can be expensive depending on what you buy, but like get after it, right?
I don't even care if you don't have a smoker.
Okay.
Buy some rubs,
Yeah.
local rubs, and even cook it in the oven to get started.
Okay.
Are
But
people
I-
smiling?
Right.
Do they,
Exactly.
do they enjoy it?
Exactly.
I think the biggest
it.
thing with barbecuing and smoking is time.
Time.
Yes.
Like you can't.
Yeah.
Like if you got family coming over in an hour and a half, barbecue is probably off the table.
Well, that's
Well, I mean, you know, you can't
prep.
fake the funk.
Right.
you can't microwave this stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Little bit of
coming
prep
over
time
from-
does go a long way.
Yeah.
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 Well, that goes back to like it's part of the ritual, right?
Yes.
Like it's you can't just make it happen right now.
You
And-
care.
Right. You got to put the
Well,
effort into
So
it.
my favorite way is if you got company coming over on a Sunday, Saturday night, throw a couple pork butts in your smoker.
Right. Let it roll through.
Let
the
it
night.
roll through the night. So you put it on at 9 o'clock. When you get up at 6 a.m, go check it.
Yeah.
Should be good.
That's what I like about it, and
Well, that's what's good about the the one you have, your pellet
That-
smoker. You can set it and kind of forget it.
Look, I've been fully honest about.
Yeah,
Look, I like.
This is the non-judgment
Yes,
zone.
non-judgment. Yeah, I like the ability. Two things. Number one, I respect what you said, and that's what makes it so special. When you show up to somebody's house and you've got a brisket that you know they put 18 hours into, they started, yesterday evening, and you show up to their house, like you said, food is communal,
Right.
And you're eating this that they put time into. They didn't just warm it up, order it, or even like with a good ribeye, which everybody knows how that tastes.
Right.
You can throw that on in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and
done.
it's ready to go.
Well,
right.
yeah.
This takes effort, so I appreciate that. However, I do also love the ability to have a pellet smoker and set it to a temp and sleep.
Go
check
inside.
by your phone,
and I've
drink.
taken tons of heat for that, and I'll take more, and I don't care.
Don't care, right?
Yeah, I don't
care.
But I will say this though: when you get into it, going back to the World War II meme and the smoking meat.
You either like World Wars or meat.
No, it's like you get in one or the other. And I was like, shit, I picked both.
Yeah.
But I was already into
So,
World War II way back.
Shane Gillis bit.
Yes. but what about, to me, the holy grail when you started was brisket, and it is one of the hardest things to do, and it's a little pricey. If you mess up
Yes.
an $80 piece of meat,
Yeah.
especially when you do it on the last 3 hours of it, right before everybody gets there, that's the worst thing. But
Yeah.
I feel like I've come kind of like full circle with it. Like, it is hard to beat a really good pulled pork sandwich.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
Or smoked chicken.
Yeah.
And they don't take nearly as much love.
Well, my thing is when you get a brisket, by the time you get done smoking, everybody comes over. You eat like 3 pieces of it,
That's
and everybody's
true,
like, "Ooh,
No,
I
it's like
can't
eating
eat
stick and
anymore."
butter.
You know what I'm saying? You got this
Yeah,
much
I know.
brisket that you spent 18 hours on.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
So brisket is probably the hardest to get started, but
Yeah.
once you figure it out, it's the easiest.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I can probably cut that poly open and season it in my sleep and get it started. But
Trim
Yeah,
it.
so
But
yeah.
you wouldn't buy a brisket for 4 people. You got to have
No,
a
no.
crowd
Yeah,
to serve that.
so
right?
I normally my rule of thumb is 25 people per whole packers
Okay.
brisket.
Okay.
Is kind of what I figure for serving. I'm getting ready to do for St. Patty's Day brisket, potatoes, carrots, and cabbage for
That sounds
one
good.
of our.
Well, that's
one of our
what do they
customers.
call it? What's the St. Patty's
Yeah,
thing?
I know what you're talking
I
about. but
can't
don't
think
know
of the
the
dang
name.
Corned
name.
beef.
Corned beef. Yeah,
Yeah.
corned beef.
So we're doing that coming up. So that'll be our next cook for. We're doing it for Evergreen Park, American Legion.
Okay.
And all that is a brisket.
Yep.
You just cook it a little longer,
Yep.
right?
So I will buy them brined already. My meat distributor already has brined products, so I'll just take that, throw some Texas Gold on it, throw it in the smoker, and then when it comes out, mix it up with the potatoes and
Cabbage,
carrots all on the
yeah.
side of it.
Dang.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
That sounds legit for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. So If people have listened to this and they want to check you out, or we've mentioned the Butcher on Tucker, but if they're not in Mississippi, can they? I bought this hat. I know on your website they can get anything they want from you in any quantity.
Yes, porkmafia.us, our website, or our Facebook group is Pork Mafia Street Crew. Also, porkmafia.us Facebook page.
Okay, and
you sell the shakers and the big bags to the public. Anybody who wants to
10-pound
buy
bags. Yeah.
And last but not least, on your merch, I love it. I love the way.
So we do have T-shirts with the old logos.
I love that one right there.
This logo with the hats we have with the Street Crew on the side.
Are you a music guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured you had to be.
I mean, you got the
right.
music.
I knew there was no way you weren't.
You got music, biker, food, and all wear the same shirt.
It's just I was gonna say it's throwing to me like straight up. Dang, New Orleans, like metal, like down in that whole.
And I will be back.
Crowbar,
crowbar, like the whole thing, like
Hogs for a Cause. I'll be back down here in about a month.
Okay, New Orleans area.
New Orleans.
Tell me about that.
April 4 and 5. Hogs for a Cause. Our team is Hog Detonation.
Okay.
And it is fundraiser for pediatric brain cancer.
Damn, I like it. I love what you're doing. I love.
What's the dates on those?
April 4 and 5.
I love that you take that stuff and make it towards a charitable event. So that's great.
So we have a great team. We're also looking for volunteers for front of the house. Anybody want to join Hog Detonation? They also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
So we vend at that also. So we vend barbecue, and then we have our competition.
So that's usually spring break here. That's right after Easter.
Yep.
Cracklins.
Yep.
The whole nine. Yeah. The whole nine.
And is the public invited?
Yes, public can get in. Tony's actually took it to be our leader on Cracklins for this coming up season.
Cracklins, what do you got? 33 seconds to get them right, pull them out, less than that.
I can't. You
can't
get away with
cigarettes.
They're gonna be baller. That's all I can say.
Well, look, gentlemen, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for putting the time
in
to cook that for us this evening. Tony, thank you for bringing the bourbon. That was amazing.
Sorry, we drank it all of it.
Hey, that's what I bought it for.
Yeah, that's right.
It was great. It was great. So go check out. I've linked in the comments the Pork Mafia Facebook page, and on there, I'm sure it's linked to your website. Go check it out at the Butcher on Tucker.
Yep.
Go buy some product and taste it. Let us know what you think. Tag us. Tag them.
Can they get with you on product? Can you sell that to the public, or how's that work?
As soon as we get a bunch of it down here, Tony might have it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We gotta get the demand up. In retail, and like we've talked about that, he's B2B, but if we can get the retail demand, he'll keep it down here.
That's right.
And right now, like I said, go to the Butcher on Tucker. Y'all should know where that's at, or Google them and go pick it up. I know you won't be disappointed because it's legit.
No, I got it at my house. If you want to try it, come on.
Just come hang out with us. We'll cook with it.
25 cents a try.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
A wink. That's right. Thanks again, gentlemen. We appreciate y'all coming
We'll
down
go
here.
fishing next time.
What's that?
We want to go fishing next time.
Hey, let's hook that up.
You ain't on me. You walking backwards.
Fishing.
My boat's in the water.
Fishing has got to happen.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We will make that happen. I love it. All right. Thanks everybody for watching on the lives, the replays, and in the audio land. Go check out these links, man. We